UA Board. I will protect. A word remindful of the days when knights wore armor to defend their walled cities against invaders. Sometimes Joe was sent out for duty at school crossing. Experienced officers of the Police Department's Youth Bureau worked with the schools, teaching traffic laws and laws of courtesy to our youth of Detroit, to help them become useful citizens of tomorrow by taking part of the responsibility today. Little by little, Joe learned the insight, patience, and tact a police officer needs to carry on his work. He was learning fast. Each day before an officer begins his tour of duty, he is required to copy the information posted on the teletype board. This review ensures prompt action on missing persons, stolen cars, and persons wanted for investigation by the police department. Joe spent some of his time on duty checking car licenses, training his eyes to observe, and his mind to remember descriptions of persons wanted. Oh, it wasn't an important arrest, and Joe wasn't a hero. But for the first time, he felt as though he really was a police officer. And somehow his uniform seemed to fit better. The police department thought so too. At the end of 6 months probation, Joe received his certificate confirming him as a patrolman. Not for the one arrest he made, but because in his whole probation period, he had proved himself to be alert, willing to take orders and carry them out, and firm but courteous in his contacts with the public. As a patrolman, Joe began to understand the real significance of police work. The steady workaday jobs, such as checking houses where occupants are on vacation and have left an open invitation to housebreakers. It was his job to prevent crime whenever possible. Once in a while, he found himself working with the younger generation on his beat. Youngsters who have a yen to find out what the world outside their yard is like and discover it's pretty big and confusing when mother isn't there. Yes, Joe got to know his area pretty thoroughly. He forgot about wanting to be a hero. There were plenty of other compensations. Of course, there were dozens of times when he had to do things that weren't pleasant, like giving a ticket to someone parked willfully in a no parking zone. But it was all a part of his job. It was a long time in coming, but he was finally assigned to a two-way radio car, Car 88. It meant a great deal to him, a successful step in his career. He met the man who was to be his partner, an experienced patrolman from whom he could learn a great deal. Car 88 was a part of a carefully planned system devised for the patrolling of the city of Detroit every hour of the day and night. Here's how the system works. The city of Detroit is divided into police precincts. Each precinct is divided into scout car territories, the number depending upon the size of the precinct and the amount of activity in that precinct. The two men who transmit orders to scout cars, the radio dispatcher and the dispatch clerk, are always veterans of many years' experience in police work. They must decide in a few seconds what course of action should be taken on a call. They must know every minute what cars are available for assignment. Joe seldom saw those men, but their voices became a part of his life.
88-13341, Mark Twain, family trouble.
Family trouble. About 20% of the calls that come into the station are family trouble. And this was Joe's first call. Joe had visions of being a hero, of defending some frail little woman whose husband was mistreating her. in this case, Joe was told by a ruffled lady of the house to mind his own business. If she and her husband wanted to throw things at each other, that was their business.